Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Terror and Stats here on Outsider, a weird map for weird games. Top side it is the yellow Zerg player, it is Terror, Smurf name STC, and in the bottom side it is Chibugosu, otherwise known as Stats. Stats is more well known as a StarCraft 2 player, probably the most accomplished StarCraft 2 player of all time, but in Brood War, he is not well known because he was young and inexperienced at this time. Alright, man, so ZVP here on Outsider. Man, how many weird games have we had on this map, especially ZVPs? We've seen Protoss go for carriers against Zerg on this map. We've seen Devourers to counter those carriers. We've seen Lurker drops. We've just seen so many weird things. Disruption Web getting researched at a fleet beacon. I have no idea what to expect from this game, and I hope you don't have any idea either. And wow, 500 APM and 400 APM here from these two players. So Stats had high APM when he was younger, and Terror has IPM as well. And that is a 9 pool. Well, an overpool, anyway. There's the Overlord. Gateway. Not walling off. This is interesting. Not worried about early lings, are we, Stats? I don't think you get to this level by not being worried about early lings as Protoss. But both players scouting the wrong direction, so I don't know. Maybe the lings won't know where to go, right? The Overlord might not get there in time, and maybe the lings will just make a detour long enough to... Oh, here we go. 2-gate opening here. This is going to be some 2-gate Zealot pressure. Interesting opening indeed. Second pylon coming in. No gas at all. No expansion at all. What is happening here? Here's an expansion coming in from Terror. And about 16, 17 supply. And it is 6 lings on the way. Zealot pushing out. So this is, I mean, okay, fine. Like, if you don't want to wall off, then by all means, do some pressure. Like, put the pressure on the Zerg player to defend against your Zealots, and then you don't have to worry about them showing up back here. So Overlord, okay, got to the point where he recognized, okay, that's not where the Protoss is. Let's head to the south here at what is effectively a 430 position, but whatever. It's the 6 o'clock for all intents and purposes on this particular map. And a third base coming up real early. That's a sub 3-minute third. Out of Terror. I like that very much from him. Get the pressure on and double expand. And now here you go. 2 Zealots. You know what a wall is? A wall is 2 Zealots. Thank you very much. That's all you need against these lings is 2 Zealots. And no more lings are on the way because obviously these lings are trying to kill this Zealot. Ow. Without taking hits, which is impossible, basically. Probe dies, which is nice. That's a great victory. Zealot trying to get in here? Or here? No, actually. Interestingly enough, Zealots actually get a ling kill back there without speed. The lings were on hold position. And it hurt him. Our hero, though, has 0 kills, but I feel like he's done some damage. He's done some damage to the Zerg base, and therefore just, like, deserves a place in a Dragoon. I think that's how that works anyway. Oh, but a drone killed him. Maybe not, then. There's your expansion from Stats left side. Again, it's a minerals-only base, but that could be fine. Okay, this is a lot of lings. Remember when I was like, Terror's not going to make many more Zerglings? That was a lie. Look how many lings he has, and he's getting a lair. Terror, you're a crazy person. I kind of enjoy it. I really do enjoy how crazy you are. Cybercore coming in from the Protoss. Lings... 2 lines of Zealots, man. There's 2 lines of Zealots. I don't think you're getting up here, and I think Terror recognizes that too. He's not even going to try. He recognizes this is not going to work out for him. A lot of Zealots. This is funny, because it's actually basically what we saw in the Maynard game from yesterday. Like, if you didn't click on that because you're like, I don't know who these players are, that's Maynard. He came up with the Maynarding concept in StarCraft Brood War, where you take your workers from your main base and transfer them to your natural as soon as the natural is done, so you have a nice saturation there earlier. And the games are from 2001, fall 2001. Like, that's how old they are. And that's exactly what the Protoss he was playing did, and I kind of made fun of him for it. I was like, why is he going 2 Zealot, 2 Gate Mass Zealot? But then, yeah, there was a lot of things for him to deal with from Maynard, and I might owe that player an apology. He seems to be doing exactly what Stats is doing here, minus the Stargate. Because I don't think the popularity of the Corsair had been established yet, unfortunately. There were no Corsairs in that game. And Corsair's on the way, which is, again, something, according to Day 9, that Bisu popularized and really made the thing. So this is probably safe enough. We've seen this before, too, where you just wall up with Zealots along this line. Only on this map, though. Why? What about this map makes Protoss do weird stuff? Like, it feels like they're doing weird stuff, and Zerg is trying to respond to them. We have seen this I think three total times on the channel. A mass Zealot wall stretched out to protect the natural base down here. And it's only happened on Outsider, all 3 times. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. So Corsair eventually takes down Overlord, because of course it does. Spire finishing up for some of them Scourge to try to deal with the Corsair. And the Zealots decide it's time to push out a little bit here. Yeah, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio of Zealots to Lings, so that's bad. And I think Stats has a nice lead here on Terror. He has to make a bunch of Sunkens. We saw those creep colonies getting produced, right? Ready to go. Are there Scourge in any of these? Mutas, actually. Yeah, I don't know. 4 Sunkens and a handful of Lings is pretty intense. I think maybe Stats was just interested in forcing the resources to be spent on these Sunkens instead of drones. And he's got back on out. I think he's done a great job. Basically, the problem for Terror is he made a bunch of Lings that didn't do anything. They killed a Zealot, that was aggressive, and a Probe, that was aggressive. It's 34 to 28 total worker count right now. Third base is coming in for the Protoss player very nicely. Trying to come... Oh, man. Are these cannons going to finish in time? They gonna finish in time, friend Aronis. The answer is just like barely. Alright. But then we learned maybe cannons aren't everything. Maybe they are. Corsair show up to support, obviously. Maybe try to dive on him here again. That's my question. Oh, that's a dead Corsair. It's just a bad rally. That's what that one was. Yikes. 2 cannons protecting the main base, too. Just trying to... Ow. Oh, that sound reminds me of Randy. Randy buys a bookshelf off of Gumtree. If you haven't watched that video, like, go watch it. It's an Australian comic. He's got a puppet named Randy who tells awesome stories in a stand-up fashion. It's not the first puppet to do stand-up, but I think Randy might be the best. I think Randy's the best puppet to do stand-up. Anyway, Randy buys a bookshelf off of Gumtree. It is an amazing story. All right, try to get it from the Randy's YouTube channel itself. There's another channel that pirated it a long time ago and got a bunch of views, and it makes me sad. But try to go to the actual channel. That does just exist there. So the Mutas dive on these cannons and just gaboo, get out of here. Thank you, Probes. Time to run for it. We are committing to Mutalisks with skirt support on this map. Air units good on this map. Again, Harrier's good. Devourer's good. Mutalisks good. There are so many bases that can really only easily be accessed through flying, like this one here. Where's the Corsair count? Where are they? Here they are. There's 5 of them with another one on the way. They seem pretty brave, but that skirt count is intimidating. Intimidating as all get out. Ow! Ow! Oh, the juke. That was a great juke. Woohoo! That was a great juke. 4th base coming in from Terror while he wipes out the natural base on the 2nd base of Stats. This is actually kind of going pretty well for Terror. Seen him lose on this game sometimes, or lose on this map sometimes. He's engaging here, which, okay, never mind. He was great, but all his mutas are dead now. Fairly well, all of the Mutalisks, as Terror goes into Hydras instead. Who needs Mutalisks? Those guys are stinky anyway. They expand on the bottom left-hand corner where there's gas, too. Gas is important. Actually going for shuttle speed here. And I think Reavers? see a robotics bay, right? Yeah, robotics support bay. Are we actually producing Reavers at all, though? Just shuttles for the moment. And this is just going to be held with Zealots and Cannons. There is no splash damage here for stats at all. Which it can be done. It is not easy, but it can be held here with the Zealots and the Cannons against a Ling Hydra force, especially the Zealots. They're really important here. Reaver production has begun, but it's some way off from being useful in the situation. And yeah, you just try to keep the Hydras from attacking the cannons directly, and they're getting hit by cannons the whole time, and they are glass cannons. They do not like it one bit getting hit by cannons. And as a result, this is going to be held. The Zealots take 1,000,000 hits from a Hydralisk to kill. Even assuming upgrades are just nothing at the moment, which they are not. Although I think, did we just get range? Just got range. Going for faster Overlord movement here, too. I heard that load up. Where are you going? Zealots, huh? Corsairs trying to find Overlords to kill, not really succeeding all that much. Although supply blocking Terror pretty effectively there. 66 out of 54 available supply is not where you want to be as a Zerg player at all, and something to float some money as a result. I don't know what this Overlord is trying to do. Are we just shuttling? Yeah, just shuttling units across the mineral wall. Fully scouted. Oh, Overlord speed just kicked in. Are we making more Mutalisks? Terror, honestly, we are. Okay. That's fine, I guess. But yeah, just trying to saturate up this. We'll call it a new third base in the bottom left corner. Expanding again is Terror, and expanding here for double gas is Terror. The expansions are going well, I think, for the Zerg player. I'm going to give him a lot of credit for that. Templar Archives, warping in down south in the main. Going to get some of that Storm, some of them Archons. Storm probably, though, less Archons. That's the problem with keeping Overlords alive on this map, is everything's dead airspace. Oh, they're going to find these guys. Oh, didn't find those guys. How? How did they not find those guys? I don't know. What are these drones up to? Ah, transferring to this base. They're Maynard transferring to this base, everyone. You know what that means. Haha, terminology. This Overlord makes itself known to die. And are the Scourge going to dive bomb and try to take advantage of them attacking this Overlord? No. Seems their intent is not. So place your bets at 12 minutes. It's a longer game, so who's going to win this thing, Terror or Stats? This attack is actually problematic for Stats a lot. Oh, look at the... Oh my gosh, the Reaver bullets, the Reaver Scarabs can get all the way around the outside. It's actually kind of nice. The Hydras can't get through, but the Scarabs definitely can. I support that. Storm is in production now for the Protoss Stats. And see how this Mutalisk dies real fast? And how this Mutalisk dies real fast? Why do we have Mutalisks? I don't understand. I don't know where these Zealots got dropped off by this shuttle. So they got dropped over here, but there are just, I think, too many Hydras for this to work. It was a good idea, but too many Hydras in the general area, so do what you can. Ooh, Scourge Snipe. That's not good at all. Yeah, I think I would place my money on Terror at this point in time. He just has so many bases. He has so much gosh darn map control. Yes, he keeps getting supply blocked, which is frustrating as all get out. But at the same time, he's at 60 workers and like 100 bases. I guess we could count them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. He has 8 bases at 14 minutes. Outsider makes weird games, you guys. The very weirdest of games. Look at this Reaver, just like, kapow, kapow. Cannon's doing some work too. If the Hydras are dancing to try to avoid the Scarabs, then that means the Cannons are getting free hits. So the fact that we're only on 4 bases for Stats, and it's 8 bases for Terror, really should concern me more. But again, weird map, weird stuff happens. Oh, what did he just... a little DT Zealot attack, I see. The reinforcing Hydras are not enough. Okay, that's all right. I can get on board with that one. He's going to try to trap these Hydras in here with Zealots, watch. Or maybe just wipe out a base or two with these double Reaver shenanigans. Dude, these guys are still here. 4 kills on that Dark Templar. Big old drop, though. This base has been cursed. There's one thing Terra has successfully accomplished. It's killing this base. Meanwhile, Reaver attack. Reminds me of the great YouTube song Chicken Attack, which you should really watch if you haven't. It's very catchy and very good. Chicken Attack. No, why did you load up? Oh my god. All right. So hatch down, but losing a shuttle that has 2 Reavers in it is bad. Also, losing this base is bad for stats. All right, so we're down to 3 bases for stats. There's nothing happening in this bottom left base either because the Hydras are very mean. And they're in a position where they can hit the probes, but the Reaver can't very easily hit them, I suppose, is the best way to look at it. This game is bonkers. I like it. I like it a lot. Are these overlords these are just scouting overlords moving out in a fan, like, formation. That High Templar survives while everybody's trying to kill it. Nice, just magnet right there. A magnet for enemy forces so that they can all die. Well played. Archon's in production. I don't see anything really but Hydras, and we're getting Ling speed for the first time today at 16 minutes, which is so very fun. Nope, that's dead. Fairly well shuttle. And doing some work. Dude, this DT, though, this is an MVP DT. That's 7 kills. Okay, he's dead now, but he did some big-time work before he died. Make a statue of that guy back home. Back in Ire, or Shakuris, or wherever we're living right now. Hive Tech on the way at 17 minutes, which seems a little bit late, but again, he expanded 1 billion times, Terror did. Oh boy. This is a lot of Hydras coming in. Archon's doing what they can. Storm doing what they can. But Storm dodging, and how much Storm do you have, really, is the generic question of the day here. The answer is enough, actually. Thank you for asking, but the answer is enough. Oh, that Archon almost survived. But at least they avenged his death. Okay, so at this point, Stat says, we need a base, and we're quickly running out of options. So tell you what, let's take this one, which is incredibly exposed and only minerals and gosh darn hard to hold. Yeah, I just don't see how Terra loses this game. I don't. I'm looking at it. I'm staring at it with all of my eyes. You know how he wins this game? Is with all of the psionic storm that Protoss has ever had. Because that's what we're doing here. Storm is evening the contest. If there was no Storm, that is a completely dead Protoss force. Oh man, the Corsairs though. Why are there a bunch of bunched up overlords down here? Corsairs, get them! Unless the Corsairs are all dead to something I didn't see, which is entirely possible. Hey, look what happened when you were away from home. 1 million more Hydras showed up and forced to cancel on that base, and your probe died too. Oh, the Corsairs did end up chasing these suckers down. Guess who supply blocked again pretty heavily? It's Terror. I think maybe the only way that Stats is staying in this game is because he's supply blocking Terror so much. It's 30. It is 30 supply of supply block right now. Look at this, another group of overlords just hanging out all by themselves. I don't know if that's how you want to be doing this if you're worried about Corsairs murdering you. Is grouping up your overlords in random spots and hoping they don't get discovered. Okay, so now this is an attack from Stats. This is what we're looking at here. Dragoons in, Archons in, Reavers back here putting in some work against these Sunkens. But this is happening too. You have any High Templar back home? You have 2 High Templar back home. They both have energy for Storm. How nice. Ow. Ow. It's enough to chase the Hydras away. All right. So Stat doing some work over here. Taking down a hatch, keeping his base alive. Is Terra going to go for round 2? I don't know. There's actually not... Oh, this is going to be 2 bases dead. Dude, is Stats going to... No. Stats can't win this thing? I mean, he can. Okay, fairly well, Hatchery. fairly well. Maybe this worker line too. Another bunch. Is this the same bunch of overlords that were? Yeah, that was up here previously, I think. I think they migrated down a little bit. These guys are all bunched up, but they have stuff in them, so that's good. Oh, man. The Corsairs are ready for it, though. Terror! Terror, abort! Abort mission! No, they can't kill us fast enough, the overlords say. We'll unload Hydras eventually, and all the Corsairs will die. That's what overlords sound like, in case you're wondering. If they spoke English. And 2 Reavers are like, our job is to kill everything. Which, you know, traditionally we can kind of do, but not as much today. No. +2 armor on those Lings. +1 attack on the Hydras. Doing stuff up here. Yep, see, shutting down that mineral line like I expected. Yeah, I need to cast more Outsider games just so you can see it's an Outsider game and be like, oh, all right, this is what we're doing today is Outsider. It's never the same. It's always bonkers. Dark Storm, the second Dark Swarm of the day. Hydras are dying by the dozens inside the Dark Swarm. We can't quite tell what's going on, unfortunately. That's fine. Another great storm is up. You have the Plague. Ooh, is my question. The Filer just consumed. I think if he had an energy for a Plague, he'd toss it down. And he does not. So just Dark Swarm it is. These pushes by Stats have been something to behold. Absolutely incredible all the way around here. Look at the Dragoons being protected by Dark Swarm. And then just storming. Oh my gosh, the storms though. It's an 8-kill High Templar. He is. So Archon, that's a 32-kill Archon because why not? Dude, Stats is on a roll here. I'm gonna kill another hatchery that Terror threw up that I didn't even notice. That's how good this is going. Remember these guys down here at the 6 o'clock? Yeah, they're going to try to destroy all of the production of Stats here by themselves. Which, you know, maybe they can. That'd be nice, right? It'd be nice if they could. 2 attack upgrades, no armor upgrades at all for Protoss. Dude, that is some long distance mining. Ooh, but Terror, look at Terror's bank. He doesn't have one. He's, shoot. I mean, he's got this back, which is going to be really nice, but he doesn't have enough money to build a hatch here. This is, oh my gosh, Terror. Terror. It's a textbook example of how to throw away a massive lead, perhaps. I think the biggest mistake might honestly be that he doesn't have Plague. Like, this is an army that is begging to be plagued. I know there's some Archons in here, but there's so many Dragoons. I'm holding this base too now. Everything has changed. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. And in this case, everything changed when Stats attacked. I love these Zealots. Like, we gotta get these drones. Can we kill them fast enough? They're running so far away. 144 to 79 supply, and all Stats can, or all rather Terror can do, is try to snipe off probes here and there, which is turning out to be a fairly effective method. Oh, and a High Templar. All right. That's a victory for sure. Dude, 1 cannon right here. That's all you want. I know the Zealots are doing a fantastic job at drone extermination right now. I think, is that your GG? Are you freaking kidding me? 152 to 76 supply. This is just not happening for Terror. He lost all his mutas very foolishly, unfortunately. Dude, again, a cannon right here. Okay, now he decides it's time. 2 cannons coming up. The Lings can't do anything about it. Maybe if you dropped them over there, you could. So this is happening? Remember the one source of income that Terror had? It's a problem. It is in peril, I believe the kids would say. Oh, well, you know what? That Archon's dead, so never mind. We're good. Everything's fine. How many trips do you have, do you think, before these cannons come up, say the drones? Oh, this is probably my last one, they say. Bob, no! Bob, you're staying too long. Billy, it's a war zone down there. making their work. Okay, this is Philip the drone. He was not told by the Overmind to not do this, so he's gonna die. Okay. Oh, that's a fun lurker positioning back here. I'm okay with it. Give Mike in an epic tag just how nuts it is. Outsider games are nuts. Look at this. He brought more High Templar in for more storming purpose. Oh, jeez. Go back. Go back. There's still High Templar here. We'll storm you guys too, say the High Templar, and get out of here. Once again, just a clump of overlords. His style for overlords seems to be clump. Clumporamic. Yeah, man. It's just it's 152 to 55 supply. It is triple the supply for the Protoss versus the Zerg right now. No Plague-oo. No Plague researched against this army. Scourge trying to scout around. Oh, that's a giant, terrifying Protoss army. I don't like that one at all. This is his army right now. This is it. This is a handful of Lings with 3 armor and +1 attack. A couple Defilers for some Dark Swarm, which is nice. Dark Swarm, good. But that last engagement, the Dragoons were protected by the Dark Swarm more than your Hydras were. So that's not ideal. Ling's making a mad dash down the left side, but getting largely intercepted by a bunch of Archons with +2 attack. And there's one of these guys, 39 kill Archon is ready for you, and that's your GG. Stats is your winner. Well, did not expect that outcome. Terror got 8 bases up, you guys. He had 8 bases running all down the right side, all down the left side. He had all the income in the world. And then just upgrades weren't good enough. There was no Plague. And he just couldn't deny this base. He did a good job with base killing. He killed this one. Wait, it was here, right? This was the cursed base. This curse is less cursed. Or this base is less cursed. So that one died a couple times. Absolutely nuts. What a great, great match. Opening up with a bunch of Zealots defending against the Ling pressure, expanding over here, then expanding down here. Still resources in that base, which is nice. But, dude, the Storm Drops were sick. The Corsairs did their job supply blocking Terror several times, which was excellent. And overall, just an interesting Dragoon Archon Storm army. It's a good comp. It's hard to deal with. Again, plaguing all those Dragoons would help immensely. And enough Lings with Dark Storm protection when everyone's been plagued already is going to go pretty well for you. But no Plague. Difficult, difficult win. 26 minutes and 41 seconds. End of the day. Total points is 213,000 for stats, 173 for terror. Produced 656 units. My gosh, that killed ratio here is insane. STC killed 100 total killed, sorry. Yeah, 540 Zerg units died. Only 134 Protoss units died. That's bananas. It's bananas, I say. Constructed 76 to 39, whatever. Raise is pretty even. And then resources here, yeah. A lot of that was gas. It was actually got out gas mined by stats. Minerals mined, out minerals mined him with the 8 bases that he had, and outspent by about 10,000, but I won't say more than that. So nice job, young Stats. Like, there's a reason that Stats became the terror and the legend that he is in StarCraft 2. This is the talent. So cool. All right. Well, that right there, it's got to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.